I have been creating algorithm programs for trading for about 2 years now, and it's pretty cool to be able to have this whole experience of learning how to code as well as learning how to actually use your code to be able to see it automatically trade and hopefully make money. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I did it, my experiences, things that I did correctly, things I did wrong, and hopefully you can learn the best way to start for you if you are interested in learning how to create algorithms for yourself. Let's go ahead and get started. My coding journey began in high school when I took an intro to programming class, and I did pretty well in it. It wasn't something that was really going to make or break your coding experience. It was very, very, very surface level. I've learned so much more since then, but it was a really good start. Don't worry if you haven't had the same experience. You definitely don't need an intro to programming class in high school, but if you have had one of those in either high school or college, that's a huge plus. You're way ahead of the game already if you have had that experience already. After that experience, I got into Excel programming, which I say programming very lightly here because it's more about using formulas, the equals, sum, parentheses, range of values in there to analyze financial information. This is when I really got into the idea of using an automated program to actually trade as with Excel. So I was able to make a couple of programs within Excel, but these were very surface level. My very best ones were the perfect leverage calculator series that I made, which I still use today. And those ones are basically ones that will tell you not only how much leverage is equivalent to what percentage risk that you are comfortable with. Let's say you're comfortable with 1% risk per trade on account. You can find so many free ones out there on the internet, but mine actually takes it to the next level and actually suggests the best percentage for you to trade with your exact trading statistics based off of what your win rate is, what your RR is, and things of that nature. So that was a really, really cool experience. I'm so glad I got introduced to the financial aspect of coding from Excel. So after that experience, then I began wanting to learn a real programming language. So I did get into the actual programming language that's within Excel. That's VBA. And after that experience, then I got into real programming languages such as Python. So within Python, I learned this from DataCamp. DataCamp is pretty cool because especially if you want to learn programming for data sets, DataCamp is one of the best places to learn that. You'll learn pandas and a whole bunch of other things that are really helpful for Python coding. So after that, I was able to complete quite a bit of the Python videos. I did a couple other online free courses as well for learning Python because I was pretty interested in it. But then I was looking into how to actually use Python to actually make a real trading robot, and it can be done. It definitely is possible. However, it's much easier to use a program that's built in to the software that you're actually using to place the trades. It's much easier, at least in my opinion, to do that way instead of creating a different program to then use some synergy with your other programs. So basically what I wanted to learn from there is I discovered Ctrader. I mentioned this in almost every single one video. Ctrader is by far my very favorite platform to trade on, and including for automation for algos as well. So I was able to learn C#, which is the coding language for Ctrader. They are able to use your own bots that you can make yourself, or you can download them from the internet. You're able to change certain things called parameters, which will let you on the fly when running the program change certain little variables. So anything that you'd really want to change, it could be, say, for example, how much percentage you want to risk on the upcoming trade. You can change that if you've made a parameter that lets you do so. So that was really, really cool to actually open my eyes to a real algo language, C#, which by the way is not only used for Ctrader, not only used for coding algorithms, it's also used a lot for making video games and a lot of other tasks as well. There's the C# is a very, very widely used program. I believe it's top 5 most commonly used programming languages in the whole world. So it's really, really common. However, there are specific algo coding languages out there as well, namely MQL4 and MQL5. Those are for MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5. Now, I have learned those as well, but I don't like them nearly as much. Some of the pros and cons to MQL4 and MQL5 is that they don't exactly it's very, very oriented for only algo trading, so it just assumes a lot of things about algorithm trading that is really cool and makes it a little bit easier in that sense. However, it also makes it harder in the sense that it's less versatile. You cannot do quite as much with MQ4 and MQ5 as you can do with C Sharp. C Sharp is just so much more powerful in general, and so that's really what I've been focusing on, is more of the C Sharp with Ctrader aspect, more than the MQ4 and MQ5 aspect. But I'm definitely not knocking those versions as well. If you do want to try those, that's a great aspect of EAs is what using those. But I like to use Cbots with Ctrader instead. So within these Cbots, what can you actually do with them? Well, the first Cbot that I ever made was actually just an indicator. And it was an indicator designed to find dragonflies and dojis. Now this probably sounds really familiar. Hold on. I was able to then use that indicator to create an algorithm that will actually trade for you, and that will trade based off of when it sees very specific under my certain parameters that I have made, not the Google definition, not the internet definition of a Japanese candlesticks, dojis, dragonflies, whatnot, but actual how I describe them, which is a little bit better in my backtesting. I was able to optimize it, and I was able to trade those automatically with just one click, and then you forget it. So I'll have a video upcoming really soon of the best way to get a virtual private server. And the reason why you need a virtual private server for this is because then you're able to run it all the time. So you don't have to leave your computer on. You can have someone else's computer on in a whole different state, country, what have you, and they're able to run the program consistently for you, and you just pay a small fee every month. So I'll have a link to that in the description once I make that other video for that as well. With that amazing ability to have it automatically running for you, I was actually able to make a program that traded 1,000 times, which by the way you can find right here. And that was actually the same program, however it was the very unoptimized version of this program. I set it down to the 30-minute time frame, which is actually not so good at finding dragonflies, as I found out from my real life backtesting. So I actually learned better strategies on how to manually trade from my automated trading, because I was able to see the exact statistics for every single time frame from the time set that I set. I was able to find out the exact statistics, so I was able to know exactly which time frames are relevant for dragonflies and dojis and which ones are completely irrelevant. The 30-minute time frame was kind of in the middle. It wasn't the worst one, but definitely was not the best one at all. So if you do watch that video, keep in mind that it's not the optimized results, but it is pretty good results nonetheless. So going off of that, I got more into what I call cyborg programming, which is where you create programs that will help you manually trade rather than automatically trade completely for you. And I really, really like this style of programming. And it might sound off-putting at first, but here's the reason why I like it, is that it increases your personal trading abilities rather than just trading 100% automatically. And the reason why it's no good to trade 100% automatedly is because you can't do the really, really good strategy out there. I haven't seen anyone actually be able to code them. I certainly can't myself, at least yet. I do hope to eventually be able to. I think about this for over a year now on how to actually code, for example, Wyckoff, Elliott, smart money concepts, any of the actual good trading strategies I see as being really, really difficult to program. While other ones, such as Dragonfly strategy, RSI, MACD trading strategies, those ones are actually really, really relatively easy to program because they're so much more simple. So because of that, I was able to actually create a program called Close on Fridays, which I've actually talked about previously on my channel before. What the Close on Fridays program does is it does exactly what the name sounds like. It'll close your trades automatically on any date at any time that you pick. So this is really helpful if you have a virtual private server. If you have one, then it will actually just save you from a lot of circumstances, especially with prop firms. So FTMO, for example, one of the most commonly used prop firms in the world, they have a rule that says you cannot hold trades on the live account over the weekend. You have to close on Friday before the market actually closes. That's just a rule that they have. They have certain workarounds. You can ask for permission with like 3 days in advance or so. But in general, you have to close all your positions on Friday before the weekend starts. So I created a program that will help you manually trade so that you don't have to run into that rule violation and you're able to continue having your funded live account, which can potentially save you thousands of dollars on a very simple program. This is just a Cyborg program that will help you manually trade. Just there to save you, just be more of a safety net. I do not try and rely on this program. I try to close manually on Friday, but if I forget, I have tested out and seen that it does work. So I do have that available, included with VVS Academy. It's one of the free programs in there, as well as that Dragonfly program that you saw in that video previously of that 1,000 times with the more optimized version that is available for all VVS Academy students as well. So that being said, that's really where I got into it. That's how I got to the point where I'm now, where I'm decent at coding algo programs. I'm definitely no expert. There are definitely people way better than myself, and I am always looking to work with people like that. I'm always looking to code those really amazing programs. So if that's you, if that sounds like something you are interested in, please let me know. I'd love to work with more people and be able to get better and better algorithms out there. So that being said, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, don't forget the like button. If you loved it, don't forget the subscribe button so you can see future content similar to this. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.